So set the scene for us. Tim Tebow arrives in the clubhouse. What's everyone saying, doing? What's his arrival mean to this team?
Well, I think people have a kind of a skewed notion of what this is exactly. I mean, Tim Tebow is not in big league camp. He's not walking into the big league clubhouse and shaking hands with David Wright and Yoenis Cespedes and all these guys. That's not what this is. He's in minor league camp on a totally different part of the complex with a bunch of players, in the clubhouse that most fans have never heard of. He might come and play in some big league games at some point this spring, but first he's got to prove that he's adept enough to do that. They're not going to have him come in and face, Justin Verlander if he's not going to be able to compete to any reasonable ability. So this is just the start. He's here. He's going to be working out with the other minor league prospects. He's actually here a week in advance of when minor league camp officially opens, part of what the Mets call their step camp, usually reserved for some elite prospect, but really reserved for guys who just want to get some extra work in and feel like they need the extra work. And I think everyone around here believes that Tim Tebow needs some extra work if he wants to make a realistic run at becoming a bona fide, legitimate professional baseball player. So we'll see. He's due in here in about an hour, and he's going to do a press conference, and he's going to go out and do a light workout, maybe shag some fly balls, maybe take a little bit of batting practice. And it'll be the first time that a lot of us have seen him play baseball in person. So it's going to be an interesting day. I think there's some curiosity, certainly among some of the Mets, but for a lot of them, and for these guys who are getting ready for the season, it's not even on their radar, and they won't even really cross paths with Tim Tebow just yet.
At the same time, he's there in camp, and I know, as you mentioned, Anthony, that he's on the minor league side as opposed to the major league side. But what did he show in Arizona that warrants him even being in Port St. Lucie now?
Well, look at the Arizona Fall League numbers and take it all with a grain of salt, because that's a really, really tough league. That is where some of the best prospects in all of baseball go to get a few more at-bats and to get a little more work in. And while the overall numbers were pretty terrible, I believe it was 20 strikeouts and 70 plate appearances, average south of 200, he actually did show some signs of growth. And his last 10 games or something there, he hit close to 300. And look, it's a very small sample size. Scouts did not love the way he looked. They did not love what his swing looks like and his throwing mechanics and all of that stuff. And I'm not here to be a Tim Tebow apologist and say he can overcome all of that. But, he is here, and the Mets did see some things that he likes. It wasn't like he was out there and was just a total zero in the Arizona Fall League, which is, again, a very, very tough place to play. So, look, this is a process. He's 29 years old, and if he does legitimately want to make the big leagues, which is a pipe dream, and everyone knows it's a pipe dream, and I think in Tim Tebow's own mind, he knows it's a pipe dream, but if he does want to try and give his best shot at it, he's got to start somewhere, and he's not going to just sit back and, go to the lowest levels of the No, he's got to, make an accelerated program and get there, because he's 29 years old and he hasn't played baseball really since he was in high school. Now, he's doing all the right things. He went to instructional camp. He went to the Arizona Fall League. We will see how he does now in spring training, where the Mets ultimately assign him. This is a start, and he's got to start somewhere.